I can't imagine there's many people that think Dillon Gabriel's a better quarterback than Shadur Sanders. I don't care where they were drafted. If the Browns are the one team that thinks that, then I'm going to suspect it's not true. They don't know what they're doing.
They've been on every quarterback evaluation for 30 years.
Right.
I never root against anybody.
Yeah.
But I'd be surprised if Dillon Gabriel's ever a legitimate starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I'd be surprised. I just don't think.
Well, then it is a wasted pick because you took him in the top 100.
Yeah, but potentially.
Yeah.
May get away with it because of Shedeur.
Shadur Sanders just hijacked the Browns QB battle like it's a Netflix drama. And Dillon Gabriel, he's somewhere punching the air over Shedur's oversized confidence. Buckle up because egos are clashing, passes are flying, and someone might need therapy after this one. Who's the real QB1? Let's get messy.
It's about time that we say goodbye to Dillon Gabriel's future as a Brown. And look, I don't want this to be construed as hate on Dillon, but the reality is by getting drafted by the Browns, he got caught in a mess that he didn't create. Because it's well known that the Browns have more quarterbacks than there are reps to be had. And with Deshaun out, the Browns are already rotating starting reps between Joe and Kenny. And these guys are literally split off in their own practice so they can get reps. And Flacco, who's the expected starter this year, makes the most quarterback room references about Kenny and Shedeur. And the reality is, Dillon is extremely talented, but he is small. And he knows he's had to answer to that for his whole career. And yes, smaller guys like Kyler Murray have made it in this league. But he was also the first pick of the 2019 draft. So the Cardinals were able to design their offense to suit his strengths, which is nowhere near the situation that Dillon is facing.
Shadur Sanders just walked into the Browns QB battle like it was his own VIP red carpet event. Swagger turned up, confidence at full throttle, and sleeves probably a little too tight for all that arm talent. Meanwhile, poor Dillon Gabriel looked like someone told him his Amazon package got delivered to the wrong house, and the package was his job.
Okay, very quickly, everything you need to know about Shadur Sanders going to the Cleveland Browns. He can win the starting job, so in theory, it is a dream delayed, not necessarily denied. I was drafted to Cleveland. I know that city and I know that franchise well. The Cleveland Browns depth chart at the quarterback position. Deshaun Watson coming off an Achilles, and the ownership group has publicly criticized him. Joe Flacco, I believe, 38, 39 years of age. He is not the future. You have Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, a first-round pick of 3 years ago that the Pittsburgh Steelers gave up on after 2 years. Then you have Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel, a rookie this year that Shadur Sanders was better than in college. Shedeur can win that starting job.
Oh, good heavens. I'm scared. As a Dillon Gabriel fan, I'm very scared. Very, very scared. The Browns will not be keeping both Dillon Gabriel and Shadur Sanders past training camp. Apparently, Sanders is winning that QB battle, and Dillon Gabriel is the odd man out. Why even draft Dillon Gabriel in the third round? Cleveland Browns, if you end up getting rid of Dillon Gabriel, before preseason, I'm going to be pretty pissed at you. I'll get it from a, standpoint of, Shadur Sanders won it.
This wasn't a quarterback competition. No, this was a spiritual event. Shedeur wasn't just throwing spirals, he was tossing divine judgment across the field. Every pass was a sermon, and Gabriel, he was in the pews, shaking, clutching his clipboard like a rosary. The Browns had themselves a spectacle. On one side, Shedeur, a walking headline, fresh off a college legacy that reads like a Netflix series you binge in one night. On the other, Dillon, who has heart, hustle, and, unfortunately, the charisma of a houseplant next to Shedeur's wildfire. Not a fair fight, but who said football was fair? Then came the oversize moment. Not oversized in the metaphorical sense, no, we're talking about literal oversize. Shedeur shows up with gear that looks like it came from a superhero costume department. His shoulder pads? Basically small aircraft wings. His cleats? Might as well be rocket boots.
I don't know what the Browns are going to do. It's very Browns. Someday we'll probably get one of those athletic reports where they say, hey, here's what happened in the 2025 Browns war room. Mm-hmm. And I'm just taking a guess here. But I think that maybe they drafted Dillon Gabriel so that Jimmy Haslam couldn't be like, hey, you have to draft Shadur Sanders. And then when it got to the fifth round, Jimmy Haslam still was like, hey, no, you still have to draft Shadur Sanders.
In the clip,
because the Dillon Gabriel one was kind of out of left field.
And in
the thing about Shedeur, I am the guy that's been pushing him to the greatness. I want to see Shedeur picked early. I want to see Shedeur picked as the first quarterback taken off the board. But Shedeur also does not want to be challenged. I said certain things that I'm just keeping it a buck and just say how I feel. That doesn't negate how I feel about him, his brother, his other brother, his sister, and his father.
Respectfully,
so
listen, I'm not refuting what you're saying. I'm trying to comprehend what you're saying. What do you mean he doesn't want to be challenged?
That got my attention.
And yet, somehow, the man makes it all work. He doesn't just wear oversized gear, he wears oversized expectations, oversized swagger, and oversized pressure, and still delivers. Dillon Gabriel, bless his soul, looked like someone handed him a pop quiz in Latin. One snap in, he's squinting like the sun betrayed him. Next snap, he's checking his helmet like it's buffering. By the third rep, he's having a full existential crisis, wondering if switching to punter would be too obvious. The coaching staff pretended it was close, sure, and my grandma's toaster is a 5-star chef. You could practically see the clipboard notes reading, Shedeur, star power, Dillon, emergency contact.
There's this report coming out from Tony Grossi after the draft saying the Cleveland Browns had Dillon Gabriel rated higher than Shadur Sanders and Jalen Milroe on their draft board. And I mean, listen, you got to take this with a grain of salt because Tony Grossi is the one reporting this. Historically, he's gotten a lot of stuff wrong, most inaccurate Browns reporter. So tread on this water lightly. What I'll say though is I think Jalen Milroe was going to be their pick before Dillon Gabriel ended up being their pick, and he got swiped out right from before them. And just because Shadur Sanders, they pick him in the 5th round, doesn't mean that Dillon Gabriel is all of a sudden rated higher on his.
And the reactions? Oh, the Sideline was a movie. Coaches whispering like they'd just seen a UFO land. Teammates side-eyeing each other like, yo, did you see that throw? Gabriel throws a check down, crowd yawns. Shedeur slings a 40-yarder in double coverage, and suddenly, someone's grandma in row Z is standing up clapping like it's church. At one point, Dillon tried to one-up the vibe. He added a little extra pep to his footwork, threw in a no-look toss, and promptly sailed the ball into the parking lot. Somewhere, a fan is probably still trying to return that souvenir.
Did one of the two look better to you in what they were asked to do than the other?
In just throwing the ball, it's not close. Shedeur Sanders.
It's not close.
But let me couch that by saying this is rookie minicamp.
Sure.
No pads, no full speed competition. Nobody coming to knock your head off.
It's telling. They're side by side, and they're not asked to do much, but they're both asked to do the same thing, and that one of them looked discernibly better than the other. I didn't know that we would get that out of this mini.
We're standing here, Jay. They're on the field. They break the huddle from team stretch, and they go both pick up the ball and throw it. It's no question.
Let's talk about the body language. Shedeur walks like he's already the face of the franchise. You can't coach that. You can't even fake it. He looks like someone who updates his highlight reel hourly. Meanwhile, Dillon walks like a man who was promised free Wi-Fi and got dial-up instead. And look, Gabriel is not a bad quarterback. He's smart, he's skilled, but this wasn't a test of intelligence. This was a showdown of spectacle. The Browns didn't need a calculator, they needed fireworks, and Shedeur showed up with the whole 4th of July. Of course, there were whispers about the oversized gear being extra. Some folks called it a distraction. Others said it was all flash.
Either Dillon Gabriel or Shadur Sanders pop off the page to you like there is a star in the making here.
No. I think that both of them look right now like rookies who are getting acclimated. I think the reasons that Joe and Kenny aren't so concerned about this like alleged 4-way quarterback battle is because right now they're so far ahead in it.
What are the percent chances each of these guys start week 1? I said Flacco 50%, Pickett 40%. I get Dillon Gabriel 9%. And I put Shedeur at 1%. And trust me, people were in my mentions like, what are you, crazy? He's our best quarterback. Of course he's going to start week 1. Like, oh my goodness, no. That probably ain't going to happen.
But here's the thing. When you're throwing dots, nobody cares if you're dressed like Optimus Prime. The NFL isn't a fashion show, but if it were, Shedeur just walked a runway and spiked the football at the end. The day ended with the kind of awkward energy that only a total domination can bring. Gabriel tried to keep it together, smiling, nodding, that polite, it's fine, I'm fine, this is fine energy. But deep down, that man was one Shedeur touchdown away from calling his mom and asking if insurance covers emotional damage.
How do you feel about Shedeur dropping? Because they passed on him.
They tried to humble him. But I don't know why you trying to humble a rich kid. It didn't matter what you paid Shedeur. He was already rich. He made a crap ton of money from college. His daddy is Dillon Sanders. What are you saying? Okay, go prove yourself. Didn't Cleveland get him?
Yeah.
Oh, why do Cleveland always get the good quarterbacks?
Do they?
I think you're the first person who's ever said that.
Wait a minute. What's the white boy name who wouldn't play, who should have been a star?
Johnny Manziel.
Didn't they get Johnny Manziel?
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel was gonna be good.
I liked him, yeah.
But if you could keep him sober, that boy was like a.
And the locker room? You know they know. Football players are savage with the truth. They have already started calling Shedeur QB1 in lowercase, just to keep it cool. And Gabriel? He's probably already hearing new nicknames like Clipboard Commander or Waterboy with Ambition. Look, this battle wasn't fair. Shedeur came in with fire, flair, and the uncanny ability to make every practice feel like a Super Bowl audition. Dillon showed up with fundamentals and humility, which is adorable but ultimately irrelevant when your competition is basically an influencer with a cannon for an arm.
But did one of the two look better to you in what they were asked to do than the other?
In just throwing the ball, it's not close. Shedeur Sanders.
It's not close
not
either.
Close, no.
Wow, that's okay. Now that's news.
That's news. But let me couch that by saying this is rookie mini camp.
Sure.
No pads, no full speed competition.
But
nobody coming to knock your head off.
It's telling. They're side by side, and they're not asked to do much, but they're both asked to do the same thing. And that one of them looked discernibly better than the other. I think that I didn't know that we would get that out of this mini.
We're standing here, Jay. They're on the field. They break the huddle from team stretch and team jog, and they go both pick up the ball and throw it.
The Browns now have a decision to make. Go with the guy who looks like he moonlights as an action figure, or the one who blends into the practice squad so well even the camera guy loses him. It's a real thinker. But one thing's for sure, Dillon Gabriel did not lose this battle quietly. Nope, he lost it loudly, emotionally, and possibly in oversized shadows he'll never outrun. Shadur Sanders didn't just win the day, he turned it into his own personal trailer for greatness. And somewhere out there, in a dark room, Dillon Gabriel is probably scrolling through motivational quotes, trying to manifest a time machine back to when he thought he had a shot.